what I want to say here and make it short is I've written about mind control murders and the many uses. It's unlimited and it's hard to prove because mind control is invisible. The ones I've spoken of on YouTube and in the past, Facebook, are have been done in patterns. That's the Columbine. It goes way on back before I started doing the book, and Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, while I was doing the book on mind control and doctors. Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor, his plane, or the plane he was on, went down in '83 when it veered into Russian airspace. Well, mind control is unlimited. It can program a pilot to take a plane down, or if you put a marshal on there, you can program him to come out shooting. Or in schools, they talk about teachers being placed there, like Sandy Hook, etc., etc. Well, they can be programmed. So until the mind control issue being used as a weapon, and it can be used in mass armies to program them. Mass shootings, anyway, it's usable. You can program someone to look like or appear that they've committed suicide, drive their car into the river and drown, or into, like the Oklahoma campus yesterday. I don't know that that was a mind control murder. My issue is, I would think it is, because the campuses have been the ones that have been hit with mind control murders and making it appear like that the person's crazy or et cetera, when that's not true at all. So you have to ask your MDs and psychiatrists, why are they keeping quiet? James Holmes is one that can be proven. He's a victim of mind control. He's in prison, could have gotten the death penalty. And here's where I'm going to use Timothy McVeigh. Now, I said Timothy McVeigh before I ever knew that he had said he had a chip put up him by the Army, military, that he was serving under. So he was put to death for the Oklahoma City bombing, and Terry Nichols is in prison there in Oklahoma City. That was totally a mind control bombing, etc. And then an innocent man, Timothy McVeigh, was put to death, and Nichols is in prison for life. That is until it's admitted. Mind control evidence is admitted into court, allowed into court. The law is no good. How many people are serving life sentences or dead who were programmed under the influence of mind control and had no knowledge of what was happening to them, and they certainly didn't give consent? And when you talk about liberty and justice, that's a joke. When people are not aware that they're being given programmed and mind control used on them, they're not acting under their own behest, what they mean to do. They're acting under someone else through a puppet. Now then, I want to address, which is scary as hell, believe me, because they can come and handcuff you. Everybody has to have sight these days, and it started out maybe being good, but it's grown into such a health group. Money, it's unbelievable. People can't wait to send, and they're encouraged to send their children to a psychiatrist or mental health. And if you were to tell someone that let's say that you knew mind control was being used on you, and you went to a doctor, you'd be handcuffed and locked up and given not mind control, but drugs that would are not in your best interest at all. They're poison to you. When you are diagnosed with mental illness, as James Holmes and a lot of these others are, and you're given these drugs, they're poison to you. And I want to go back to, they're not mentally ill, they're subject of mind control without their knowledge or consent. I want to go back to Mrs. Andrea Yates and Russell Yates' wife. and Smith. It was, I've forgotten her first name, that in South Carolina, I believe, in North Carolina, that Susan drove her kids into the pond and let them drown, or she appeared to, and she's in jail for it. You can make parents appear to murder their children. Can you get with, what if you were Andrea Yates or Susan Smith or some of the others that have thought they weren't given the right information, and I know these two were acting under mind control. Can you imagine them living with the fact that they killed the ones they loved the most, their children? And actually, in reality, they didn't. Even though they knew the truth, this is mothers and some fathers who have been put to prison thinking they killed their kids or left them in a car to suffocate in the heat, or forget to drop them off at nursery school and forget and leave them in the car, or etc. You get the point. I'm not sure anybody ever acts on it. The consensus is to get rid of the messenger. They don't like what I'm saying, or a lot of other people are saying. I didn't know back when I was doing the book and Larry Flint was shot, and long before then. And I can give you a list that I knew were murdered using it. I couldn't get anybody to listen, even though I had evidence and was doing a book and all that. But nowadays, all you have to do is Google. You can't Google murders that are done in mind control. Patterns like the ones that I speak of were deliberately done that way, the Virginia Tech, etc., etc. And you can program someone to rape a child, or rape your daughter or son and kill them, and they're put in prisons, and they were programmed to do it. And you can't get this through people's head unless it's addressed before the public. Excuse me. MK Ultra was brought before court in 1953, I think, that far back. So the agents, it's common knowledge now. Even detective agencies and corporations use it. Do you think what they're using it on, and you wouldn't even know that you're getting it? When I worked for a group of doctors, and I found out that one had put a chip into a heart bypass. He was cardiovascular, and he could control he was head of a corporation, the man who got the heart bypass and the chip put in it. And by doing that, you can control his decision-making, or you can make him kill himself, drive off in the river, or whatever you want him to do. It's unlimited. That's my point. And he didn't know he was getting it, but when I was introduced, I was doing the book, and I couldn't define at the time the total mechanism used in it. I knew they were being killed and murdered. There was a guy that moved in to the apartment at Treetop, right next to me, and he knocked at the door, and he wanted to use my phone. And then he said he wanted to show me something, and looking back, I shouldn't have followed him. I trusted him. He showed me a ham set. It was right up against my bedroom wall. What was my bedroom wall was on the other side. And that's when he told me, and I used to work when I finished high school for Curl Radio and TV Supply. So I could get with ham sets and all that. I just didn't know you could do that with it. And if you stop and think of how technology, this is a long time ago back. I lived at Treetop in 76, I guess, and when I finished high school, it was 57 into 58. I worked at the Curl Wholesale company selling products for ham sets, etc., electronics. So you can see where it's gone now. You can even Google mind control. And they've made it so if you even mention it, people want to lock you up and throw away the key. All I've done is tell the truth. And I'll quote this, and then I'll hopefully this will be brought out in